None of us ever get through this life without heartache, without turmoil.
We're all going to fail at something. Everyone's failed at something.
Life is a trial, and trials are never supposed to be easy.
Life is hard. It's hard handling the tragedies of life. When you're working on something and you put everything you have in it, and it doesn't work out, you lose your money and other people's money. It's hard.
It is okay to be scared. It is okay to cry. But giving up should not be an option.
And it doesn't matter how you get knocked down in life, because that's going to happen. All that matters is that you got to get up.
Because when you fail, you get up, and then you fail, and then you get up, and that keeps you going. That's how humans are strong. Failure is an option, but giving up is not.
Find a way. If you believe and you have faith, and you can get knocked down and get back up again, and you believe in perseverance as a great human quality, you find your way.
You gotta have that resiliency over and over again.
You gotta make a commitment to keep stepping up to the plate and swinging for the fences. Every day, whenever you do what you do, swing for the fences. Understanding when you swing for the fences, sometimes you'll miss. Did you know Hank Aaron had twice as many strikeouts as he had home runs? But he kept swinging for the fences. Most times he missed. But when he hit it, he knocked it out the park. When it's your shot to do what you do, keep swinging and keep striving. Change is gonna happen in your life. Setbacks are gonna happen. But a setback is nothing but a setup for a comeback.
The champions, it's not their potential, it's not their genetics. It's their perseverance to always show up, always willing to fail, because in failure, that's part of success. Success is not a marathon of life with just ups. Success is formulated through failures, through facing your fears, through falling down and getting back up. That's what creates the champion.
Setback is a setup for a comeback, and that's what I want to talk about in my own personal life. My name's Pat. I work for Christ Community Church, and I was asked to coach the baseball team this year, and man, it's been an honor. It's been a pleasure to be able to spend time with the kids on the baseball field. And man, I'll tell you where I came from about 5 years ago, something like that. It doesn't even seem possible that I would even be able to do something like this, but standing up here right now is an absolute miracle. Being alive today is a miracle for me. So, and I just want to talk to, if you guys, you kids leave here today, man, the one thing that I want you to know more than anything is it ain't about getting knocked down, because life is going to knock you down. You're going to get knocked down. It's about getting back up. It's about not staying down. A prize fighter, when he gets knocked down in the round, he hadn't lost. He's not a loser until he don't get back up. When you don't get back up, that's when you lose. And I'm going to tell you how God picked me up and gave me a chance to fight again. I was born here in Charlotte, and I had a loving mom. I had an older brother. He was about a little over 2 years older than me. Tortured me just like all older brothers do. I had an alcoholic, absent father. I thought I had a normal life. I really did, because I stayed in sports. I played sports year-round: baseball, basketball, football. When I got to high school, I started wrestling. I was on the swim team during the summertime. So my mama kept me away from, I guess, just the things that were really going on in our house. And she kept me protected from it, I guess is the best word. My dad, when he was around, he was always drinking. He worked as a firefighter. When he wasn't at home, he was with his girlfriend or whoever. He just wasn't around. So I took sports to really try to to earn his respect. I tried to excel in sports and everything I did because I wanted my father to look at me and say, man, I'm proud of you, son. Never heard those words, and I don't know that I've heard I love you more than one time in my life from my father. So you could say, yeah, I got some daddy issues, I guess, but the real father stepped in my life. And I tell you, I found alcohol at a very young age. My dad, he took me drinking. That was our bonding time. I remember being 16, 17 years old and going out and drinking with my dad to the point to where I wrecked cars on the way home. And so our bonding time was bonding over alcohol. And so I fell in love with it at a young age. And I knew from a very young age that I had a problem with drinking. I excelled in sports in high school. I was Sun Drop Player of the Week in football. I was in the Charlotte Observer. I had an opportunity to go play college football. And alcohol took that away from me because I loved to drink. I loved it. I continued to drink through high school. I quit playing sports in the 12th grade. I played football through the 12th grade, but I quit baseball. Man, I was pitching varsity baseball in the 10th grade. I quit it because of the drink. Got out of the military, and I had met God somewhat in a camp when I was younger. I remember just that feeling of the Holy Spirit, and I knew there was something real about that. But he didn't really show himself until I went to the military. So I was running away from my drinking right out of high school. So I joined the military thinking, yeah, I'll go to the military, man. They'll man me up. I'll quit that drinking. I get over to Italy. There's no drinking age. So obviously things got worse instead of better for me. When we weren't training, we were drinking. And so that continued, through my military service. I remember one night, I was in during the Panama invasion and the Iraqi war, and they called us out in the formation and told us that, we had an opportunity to go that night and die for our country. And I remember it being said something like that. You need to go call your parents because you're probably not going to make it through the night. So they pulled us all out in formation. They dismissed us to go use the phone to call our parents. And I remember calling all my parents and telling them I love them, that I was going to go die. And I went back to my room and I said, you know what, Lord, and 17-year-old, been through airborne training, I wasn't scared to die, but I didn't really want to die without knowing who God was or if he was real. So I remember going into my barracks and I asked him, I said, God, if you're there and if you're real, I want to know. I want to know that you exist. I grabbed my Bible, I opened it up, and I laid it on my bed and I started reading. It says, 2 great nations will go to war over the Euphrates River. I looked at the back of my Bible and there was a map of the Holy Land. The Euphrates River ran right through Iran and Iraq, where we were going. So right then, I knew God was real. I spent another 30 years not living the way I should have, but I was always that guy that would watch the 700 Club and drink. I did. I would watch it and cry. I would listen to Christian radio, and I knew there was something real about it, and I wanted it so bad, but I just didn't know how to quit drinking to get to it. And I went on, and I drank for about 30 years, and the military introduced me to pain pills when I was in my late 30s. So I was smoking cigarettes, I was drinking, I was taking pain pills, and I was sick a lot, man. And I'm gonna tell you, when I say I was sick, I was sick. I'm gonna show you a picture of me the last day I drank, if we can have it. That's me in the hospital 5 years ago. It's the last time I had a drink. I was having acute pancreatitis attacks. I had 2 in the same year. I was almost 300 pounds. Man, I left the hospital that day, and I remember the military saying, man, never give up, never surrender, never give up, never surrender. But the thing that saved my life that night, man, is I finally surrendered, man. I got on my knees and I said, God, I can't do this no more. I don't want to die. I got 2 kids. I don't want to go out like this. I'm not going out like this. God, you got to step in and do something. In the first year, I quit drinking, man. The first year I quit drinking. I quit smoking cigarettes. I quit taking pain pills, and I lost 100 pounds, man. So when God stepped in, he stepped in a big way. And, since then, it's been remarkable. My life has changed. My thinking's changed. When I talk to people, they're like, man, I don't even know you anymore. You're not that same guy anymore. And I'm like, no, man. I'm like Paul when he wrote to the Corinthians, man. I'm a new creation. The old is gone. He's dead, man. I am new. I am a different person now. I don't think the same way. You know, nothing about me. I remember praying so many nights, God, take everything that's not about you in my life and in my mind and in my body, that's not about you, and get rid of it. And man, he has in such a big way. My anger, I grew up in such an angry household, and I just remember anger everywhere. I mean, it was just, I just remember the anger. The military instills anger in you. I fought all the time. I was always in trouble for fighting. You know, I went to jail a few times. Not every time I drank, I went to jail, but every time I went to jail was because of alcohol. And, I mean, God stepped in, and he changed everything. He changed everything about me. And he gave me a second chance at life. But I'm going to tell you, man, during the time where I was trying to get sober, man, I went in, you know, I was trying to go to AA and do these things, you know, in the secular world. And I kept falling down, man. But I kept getting myself back up, and I kept going and trying again, man. I never quit. I just kept trying. I was like, I got to get this. I got to get it. And man, I tell you what, I'm so grateful for what he's done for me in my life now. And it's, you know, it's funny, the things that I pray for now, I see them come true, man. I ask God for an opportunity to be a coach, to work with kids, you know, and man, you know, it's been something else, man. But anyway, all right, well, guys, thanks for letting me share my own story.